and gentlemen, boys and girls, New Element 2019 awards are live right now. I'm your host, Yappy, the most favorable member of the site, and with me I'm with the amazing admin team and Intamin, and we're here to host tonight's show for you. Liam, please present yourself.
Hello.
CC9, are you there?
Hi.
Intamin, give me a call.
I'm only here because the other cool former ex-admin from Ohio couldn't be.
Well, any reason's a good reason to be here. Well, we've got quite a lineup for you. We have quite a few categories to go through as well, so I'm thinking it might be best to just get on with it. We have had an amazing year. 2019 has seen, of course, the beginning of the New Element Design Contest. We had Micro Madness. We had quite a few other amazing parts showing up as well, and quite a lot of activity in general. So, with no further ado, I think it's best to go to the first category.
Alright, first up we have Best Screenshot. As always, shout out to Scoop and any other community members who assisted with running the polls throughout the year. Actually kind of late this year, but to collect the monthly votes for Best Screenshot on the site. It's always super fantastic to see this stuff, and particularly this year I was excited to see a lot of fantasy work show up in those Best Screenshot polls. So the nominees: we have Fujin, we've got SeaWorld, and we have Avenine Commuter's unreleased project. And I can announce that the winner of Best Screenshot is Avenine Commuter with Moonshine.
Alright, congratulations, AVC. A worthy winner, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. At first I thought it was unfinished because of the flat ride, but the seats are just swinging away. They blend into the foliage. But at first I was a little annoyed that an unfinished screen would be winning this, but it's finished and it's really cool. So fuck it. It's great. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah, to be honest, I never even noticed if it was unfinished. For half a second when I first saw it, I thought it was even Loopy Landscapes.
I thought that the first time I saw it too.
It has a bit of that aesthetic to it.
Yeah, the station stacking and the track architecture definitely gives it that vibe. I love the way the mine train comes up and is the entrance path for the giant fruit.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff to notice in this screen. I've been able to see a little bit more of this park, and I'm just really excited for Av to hopefully finally get around to finishing it.
I was offered to take a look at the park, but it was really hard to resist. But I want to save the surprise, get the full effect. It was really hard. Like, this is great.
How could you refuse? How the hell could you refuse an offer like that? I would have said yes in a heartbeat.
Yeah, an opportunity to do the classic New Element hashtag you know my thoughts. And with that, we'll move to Best Idea to see whose thoughts really are the best.
Ooh, I like that one.
This is always a super interesting category because it can be a hack, it can be a ride design element, it can be a theme concept in general. But this year we had a two-way tie for silver with The Gate in Ascension by Extreme 97 and the music tapes in Behind the Music by Coco. Micro Madness really did generate a lot of these great ideas. And of course, the winner with number 1 is the explosion reveal in Dynamite Dunes, also by Coco.
Well, Coco wins with a bang.
Crickets.
Yeah.
I'm all of you waiting for that one.
So the first time I saw this, it was pretty impressive. I don't know how he thought of it. I don't know where that came from, but it's just a cool idea, you know?
Well, the most brilliant thing is the fuse. Like
The fuse, yeah, that's the best part.
It's easy to forget it though, because when I was thinking about the explosion, I was just seeing all the blocks fly away in the windows and stuff, and that's super cool. That alone is worthy of getting in this award thing. But I was looking at it again to refresh my memory a few days ago, and I forgot about the fuse, and the fuse is just cherry on the cake.
It's such a good
fucking
build-up. Because you see it, you disappear that fuse, and you were really thinking, oh wait, what the hell is this? What's going to happen? And then all hell breaks loose, and it's just incredible.
Yeah.
I think it's sort of what we really like at New Element is that kind of iterative progress on older hacks, older concepts, just to sell cooler and cooler concepts.
I think we also have to do a little shout out to our good friend Space K, because let's not forget he's the one who made the trains to make this happen.
Absolutely. And with that, let's move on to Best Object Maker. Space K, of course, being one of the nominees. But in third place, we have a tie again between Fan and MK98.
I spoiled the second place, I think.
Second place, Extreme 97. Thanks, Liam. And finally, winning the gold with his annual package of ride products, it's Space K.
Naturally.
Of course, who else could it be? I mean, the stuff he creates, mostly trains, I admit, but I like trains, so there's no problem with me.
There's certainly no bias there.
Oh no, of course there isn't. But the cars, the roller coasters, the paddle boats, everything he makes, and quite often even without thinking further about them, because there are quite a few ones made specifically for very specific ideas and parks that probably will not be used much in the future, but he still makes them without too much questioning or without much of a hitch. So thank you, Space K, for that.
I think a special shout out has to go to Coaster Bill.
Yeah, he's making park building so much easier with all his pre-made buildings.
Yeah, now anyone can make Emerald Point.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, the Emerald Point building kit.
No, I don't think that his objects are the most useful ones compared to the people that made the top 3 here, but you gotta admire the effort, the object making effort that he put into it. So a special shout out to him, I guess.
Yes. Thanks to him, we now have a new scenario: build your own Emerald Point.
It was a long time coming, just like the next park that we're going to discuss, because really there's only one park to discuss for the next category, which is Best LL Park of the Year. And that would, of course, go to the New Element Group Park, Land of Shadows, which has been in progress since, 2004?
It's probably older. Like, if you look at the work that Nate put in, it looks ancient. Like, from before his peak even. It's ancient.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, we don't have more to add to this category this year, but LL is still going strong. We've got some excellent builders on the horizon producing really cool content. And I'm hoping that 2020 will be a bigger year for LL releases, but Land of Shadows is definitely worth checking out.
Well, we already have one full-scale park in and 9 months to go, so who knows?
And I think with that, I hand over presenting.
No, I think you have 2 more.
I think you still have it, Neil.
You got a couple more.
You've got
okay.
answers
All
over.
Never mind.
You're over it, aren't you?
Yes, over it.
That's a good segue. Like it.
I'm clearly a professional. So Best NCSO Park of the Year. This is us, as has been the case for the past couple of years, a category expanding rapidly. We've seen really impressive stuff coming, and this year several of the nominees were not just parks, but sort of environments or scenario builds, and I think that's kind of something that's on the horizon for 2020 in general. My prediction is 2020, year of the scenario build coming back. With that in mind, number 3, Greenford Farm by AR 2910. Collecting the silver medal for Best NCSO Park of the Year It's Menak Bay by AR2910. And the winner of the best no custom scenery is Obeah and the Cursed River by Terry Inferno. All right, congrats to Terry. As always, a huge effort from him in the NCSO category, always kind of pushing the boundaries and delivering really exciting content.
Oh yes, very much congratulations to Terry. I'm not always that big a fan of his work. Quite a lot of emphasis on track architecture, which I'm not always that a fan of, but it does work in quite a lot of cases, so props to him. He made quite an original park, and I'm really happy for him.
I think the exciting thing about Terry's work is that he's kind of using track architecture in not necessarily the newest ways, but he's using it in ways that it is more appealing than just having it kind of all over the place everywhere just to have it, I think, which is definitely a big plus to his work.
Absolutely, and shout out as well to the couple of full-scale NCSO releases we saw this year. I think it's more defined as ever as a category of parks that we can release and say this is a whole category that deserves nominations and sees progress every year.
I'm thinking 2020 awards will be exciting for the NCSO awards, especially since we have now members from Dirkling seeping in, like Mekit and Skifa, who have shown some amazing things in NCSO.
And Mamorias as well, especially with sculptures.
Oh yes, definitely. NCSO is a growing category, and I'm really happy for it because it's been under the radar for quite some time.
On the other hand, people have been saying it for 5 years.
Yeah, but it's really on the rise again for the last, about 2 years, I think?
We'll see. Time will tell.
Alright, Intamin, I think we can move on to the next category.
Oh, I'm free.
No, one more for you.
You have one more.
Best theming.
Yeah, it's your favorite.
I do enjoy theming. I do enjoy other parts like ride design as well, but theming is kind of close to my heart. Really interesting competition this year as well, because there's a mix of the realism parks and the fantasy parks on the nomination list. So it was really fascinating for me to see the two-way tie in silver. We have a tie in second place between Bitmap by InCities and Fossagrimmen by Big Shooter Guild. And winning the gold medal, our NEDC champion as well, it's Ririku by Steve.
Who?
Yeah,
Not familiar
never
with
heard
that
of the guy.
I think he did Ghost, was it?
Yeah, I think it is
Yeah,
Ghost.
Yeah, the spooky thingy. with the English theming.
Yeah, but jokes aside, congratulations, Steve.
Yeah, I really liked the Indian architecture in this park.
I think one of the things I bring up a lot in RCT discussion is that one of the hardest ideas to achieve in Roller Coaster Tycoon is a fantasy universe that's sold convincingly. And this is definitely along those lines where it's not a named style like Roman or medieval that we would recognize right away, but he sells it so well.
Oh, absolutely. I think he made a great job of the provided layout and made it to fit in the setting he thought of.
It really looks like it belongs, like the coaster was made for this environment. I think he did that better than anyone else in the contest.
Yeah, it doesn't look forced at all, it just flows in that landscape.
Yeah, good job, Steve.
Alright, I think, Liam, that you're up right now.
Oh, Jesus.
Take it away.
Best architecture. It had to be me. Yeah, it had to be me, I guess. So in third place we have Pacific Ocean Park by Roy. I'm not gonna pronounce his name.
I think it's called Roy. Oh, whatever the hell, just name Roy.
Yeah, Roy. Just why do we make things so complicated?
I have no idea.
So let's just get on with it. Second place, Course East by Shogo. At least he knew what to do with his name. Like it was Shotguns ? Now it's Shogo. It's an improvement. That's the way it should be. So congratulations, Shogo, you were my pick. But first place goes to another deserved winner, which is Fujin by Leon.
Oh,
Congratulations, Leon.
Yes. Yeah, congratulations, Leon.
Yeah, it's pretty well deserved as well. Like, it's an interesting mix of the typical Japanese architecture, but there's also all the modern stuff, and you really nailed it. And you made it interesting and varied and vibrant and credible too. I think it's the whole package.
I think it was only a matter of time before we saw a park like this from Leon. I mean, he did Asian designs like this already in the sadly failed group park Mirage Lakes, and now he has taken that style and put it on a design and completely made it his own. It's Asian, but it's not cliche Asian, so kudos for that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's a good point, because he did an area like this in the unfinished group park, but that was actually already his second version, because he did it before. Because I was hosting a multiplayer server which has 3x3 plots, and he did a 3x3 plot that looks like this.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Whoa, this is working." So he did. He started the area in Mirage Lakes, I don't fucking know. And of course, it didn't get finished. So maybe that explains why it's so good, because he had so much practice. And
yes,
it makes sense.
Absolutely
Like, the second time you build something, it's always better. So this is the third time. So it makes sense.
So it better be good, right?
Yeah, it better be.
I think CC9 and I both looked at this building with the glass elevated walkways going up the side and instantly recognized it.
Yeah, everything about this is super recognizable. That's one of the big things for me in this particular park. It's very convincing. It's very accurate. It's a wonderful design in general, and it's super high scoring despite being so small. And I think that really speaks to how well he captured the environment.
I didn't even know that building is real, but I believe it.
Yeah, it's perfect, really. That building in particular especially is quite impressive.
I love that, and I love the infrastructural stuff. Like, the train tracks are very identifiably that Japanese style.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Can I make a little... I want to... there's that little thing on the tower, on the construction side. I just want to do a little shout out to those power lines all over the floors. They're just such a great little detail I would never have thought of myself.
In the construction side?
Yeah. When you look on the different floors, there are just cables all around, and that's
Oh,
fantastic.
I never noticed it. I see it now because, yeah, damn. I'm not sure if that counts as architecture, but it doesn't matter. Good job, Leon.
Yeah, congratulations.
So let's go to best foliage and landscaping. Another one of my favorites. And in third place we have Beyond the Canopy by Tolsimir, with the big rock arches. It's pretty awesome, so I'm not surprised it left an impression on people. In second place we have CC9's, how do you pronounce it? It's your creation.
I think it's just Nokken.
Okay.
My Norwegian isn't that great.
Well, Nokken it is. Congratulations, good job on Nokken with the beautiful waterfall, among other highlights. In first place, it's Greenwood Farm by AR2910. And congratulations. And I'm delighted that this won, because if you look at it, it's quite unrefined. There's no underbrush. I'm not sure if he even used zero clearances. There's the scenario park fences showing. And I think it's amazing that a map like that can still win. I think it's a proof that the more older parks or the simpler parks, LL parks, they're not worse because they have less detail. Like, the underlying qualities can shine through regardless of how much detail you put in. And the fact that this won Best Landscaping is the proof of that.
Liam, AR2910 never uses zero clearances, so I can assure you there is no underbrush anywhere.
Yeah. Well,
so
that's amazing.
I think I said it a few days ago. I think it's just AR2910 is just Chris Sawyer coming to New Element, showing us who's boss, that we don't need trainers or custom scenery at all to make amazing parks in Roller Coaster Tycoon. What he can achieve with the base game and with no hacking at all is just mind-blowing.
Yeah, for sure. So-
It just
observed.
shows you need basic skills like an eye for landscape or setting, and you can make some fantastic stuff.
Yeah, you need a good, strong sense of place. Like you need to have a feeling for an area, and then when you build it, you actually put the character in.
Oh, absolutely.
So a very different kind of winner, and I'm really happy about it. Let's go on to best realism. In the third place,
All
we
right.
have Luna Park Adelaide by Stocksy.
Liam, I think according to your own schedule, it's my turn.
I'm sorry, I'm just I was getting into my flow.
I noticed, but you're stepping on my toes here, mate.
I'm sorry, dude.
No problem. Well, since Liam stole a bit of my bus and GeForce isn't here, I shall be doing realism right now. In third place, we have Luna Park Adelaide by Stocksy.
Really? Funny.
Oh, yes. But the surprising thing is, we actually have a shared first place. I'll just say it right now, it's South Winds by GeForce and Course East by Shogo. Two very high quality parks, of course, and well, I can see how you couldn't choose between one or the other to win, to be honest. South Winds is just, well, GeForce is just did what he did again, and he made a Cedar Point park with an absolute fine detail. And Course East is a would-be chain park by our resident own mate Shogo, and my god, the detail he put in this, it's too much to describe, to be honest. Was this a spotlight? I'm not so sure anymore.
Which one? Well, I think both of them.
Course East.
Both were.
They both spotlights, well, they're well
Yes,
deserved.
of course, of course.
Actually, all three of these parks were spotlights.
Yep.
Yeah, we had 5 of them, I think. So I guess that explains why you may be missing some big releases in these awards so far, where there's just been so much competition. So some great parks just have to be left out naturally.
Shame,
Absolutely.
to be honest. Yeah, it would be great if we could talk about everything, but that just is not possible.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Bumbley Beach. I'm sorry.
Oh, boo-hoo. I'm
Picked the
not
wrong year.
going to comment on that one.
So
I'm
aside
just-
from the trains in these parks, I would say the best realism category really shines in the fact that they both highlight what those chains want to deliver in a park.
Oh yes, definitely.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like, they're both, as Jaap would say, dirty American realism. But
I haven't said it this time.
I
Just-
know, but it's your thing, you know.
This is the category that POSIX made that poll option neither to deserve the award for.
Well, I think it's nice that both parks, like you said, like they display completely different. They're like a different take on within the same genre. It's nice that the genre does often get some shit from people like Yappy.
Excuse me?
That this is to prove there's some divergence within the genre.
Well, there is some divergence in the way in the approach, of course. Even within GeForce's own approach. I mean, Adventureland was similar to Southwinds, but that was much more a flat park. While with Southwinds, he actually challenged himself more and tried to add more landscape and, well, height differences in them. And I found that to be very effective.
Absolutely. Would you say this is part of the same strategy that Leon used to build the same thing twice and just do it better the second time?
Mm,
These are two sequel parks, right?
I think Course East and Course definitely are, yes.
Yeah, of course. GeForce has all the windy parks.
I see what you did there. Well, that leaves a bad smell with me.
Looking
Right, I
forward
think
to,
I'm going to...
Looking forward to up and down winds. That's gonna be my favorite.
I hope you guys don't mind if I move on to the next category. So we have
means.
quite a lot of to cover. Alright, next category, Best Fantasy. In third place we have Beyond the Canopy from Tolzimir. In second place we have Land of Shadows by New Element. And in the first place we have, how do you say it? Ecumenopolis by Jaguar.
Let's
Also,
take turns trying to pronounce it. Maybe it could be fun.
Ecumenopolis.
I would say Ecumenopolis.
Yeah, where do you put the emphasis? I really don't know. It's that one. What is it? Cyberpunk thing from Jaguar.
Well,
It's a really interesting vision, I think.
Oh yes, definitely. The shady night atmosphere really comes into its own in here to setting the team. That's
not
not a good.
enough blue.
No. Let's reserve that comment for next year, guys.
It really plays well to his strengths, which are monumental architecture and this kind of sci-fi vision.
It really shows the strengths of what a different palette can do to enhance a team.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
It's got a really interesting mix too of track architecture and conventional architecture. It's something that I don't really think about a lot with most parks, but there's a lot of really unique track architecture here. One thing that sticks out to me is the fence around the city with the tanks and stuff, which is really interesting, and how it looks like it's kind of melting away. And that's something you can really only pull off with track architecture unless you go all out and create your own large scenery pieces for it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Strong category this year too, with some sci-fi, some classic Tolkien-esque fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy has been a bit of in a slur recently in the last few years with the rise of dirty American realism. There, happy, I said it. And yeah, it's really made a comeback recently, which I can only applaud. I mean, the best screenshot of the year is fantasy.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
Good point.
Just need some more fantasy builders to get around and finish building their cool stuff that they've been working on for the past like 20 years.
Oh, definitely.
Or the other way around, when Jappy finally finishes Dirty American Wildlife Kingdom.
That's going to take a while, I think. Right, I think we're about ready to take a little bit of an intermission.
Yeah, I need to pee.
Well, there you go. I need a drink.
Yeah, I'm not actually peeing. I'm gonna get a drink.
Cue that elevator music, Liam.
Should I pause it?
Yes.
Alright, I like it. It's alright. There you go. Total silence.
Well, did you... so we're off the air right now?
No, we're not. We're still live.
Oh boy. Hello, everybody. Alright, I think that's about it. It's still showing offline for me, Liam, but there it is, we're back online. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed the short intermission. We are going to dive into the most wanted categories from the New Element Awards of 2019. And now talking will be my good friend Liam. Go for it, my man.
Hi, I'm Liam.
Oh, what a...
I just wanted to make a good comeback because the next award is the comeback of the year. And we had several really good comebacks, but only one was the best comeback. Third best was Jimmy's comeback. He suddenly showed up with a finished full-scale park, the Wiener Prater, the urban park in Austria with, yeah, it was ugly, but it was also pretty. It was really good. Good comeback. In second place, it's Split Vision with his spaceship and his meltdown design. It was a good comeback. And another good comeback was, of course, Kai Bueno, who got the most votes in this poll and therefore wins comeback of the year. And I think it's he won by quite a large margin. It's not hard to see why. Like he participated in Micro Madness. He finished a 4-map project, and he's overall been a great presence around the site and Discord.
Oh yes, absolutely. Kai Bueno definitely deserved to win this award. I mean, how long has he been gone? 15 years, I think, or something like
At
that.
least.
More
Well,
than that.
and suddenly he showed up with not only his plans to finish Master Palette, but also participating in different contests, joining the Discord, and being just a nice presence on the site, like you said.
Yeah, it's great to see a comeback from someone who was around for the kind of club era of RCT and wasn't necessarily, a mainline spotlight contender on New Element all the time, but was active and participating in all of these other communities that popped up during those years.
I think it's been unprecedented that someone comes back after such a long time. And it's really cool to see.
Definitely.
Another shout out to Seabase, who didn't get many votes, and maybe he kind of flew under the radar, but he's there, he's always there, and he released the park last year. And I think people should check it out and not ignore it just because it wasn't submitted for an accolade. And maybe some
Absolutely.
of you will regret not voting for him in the poll, because it was a good comeback.
Definitely.
Right, I think we'll go on to the next award, which is Best Originality. Oh, here's another screen of Kai's Masters palette. I forgot to show it. It's the Frank Lloyd Wright house.
Well, Kai and friends.
So let's take a few seconds to take that in. At least the streamers can take it in.
I think it's interesting that this came up particularly because so many New Element members have fallen off the site in activity to go to architecture school in the past decade and a half. I think the best comebacks of all time are still waiting to happen with those guys when they discover the site's still out here, still active.
I hope
And
so.
when they discover OpenRCT2 and its possibilities.
I think Nate went into architecture.
Corkscrew,
Yeah, of course.
Pyro Penguin, who else? Father.
He too. Fish.
Yeah, Fish is still around, of course.
Yeah,
Although he does a comeback every few months.
I think he built another farm, so fingers crossed he builds more.
CG, and of course, CG's mother, Mama Bear, was one of the chief influences for Kai for this.
Right, let's go on to the next category. I already announced it, Best Originality. And in third place we have no one, because there's a shared second place. It's All the King's Jewels by F9 Commuter and Carnival Pinball by Big Shooter Gill. And it's no surprise that this category is dominated by Micro Madness, with the shared second place both being micros, as well as the winner, which is Ascension by... No, that's not true. It's Bitmap by InCities. I suck.
Oh boy, did we really do an Oscar moment? Oops. Well, no matter. Congratulations, InCities, for Bitmap.
Absolutely. It's a fantastic park in terms of just the aesthetic approach of it, but I also think that it was a really cool idea in general to do this kind of interface.
Absolutely, I just love how it embraces the, well, let's say the pixeled look of RCT to make something like this. It just works so good.
It's a perfect fit. But what I really like is, even if you take out the whole paint context and just you have the Miami stuff, that alone should be enough to win this category. Like, it's so original, the whole style. I've never seen anything like it with this level of execution in RCT. But then he added the paint layer on top, and it's even more original. Like, it's so much stuff going on at the same time, conceptually. So yeah, it's no doubt this is the most deserved winner for me.
Oh, absolutely.
I really appreciated taking the realism-oriented NEDC layout and doing something this wild and out of the box with it.
Alright, so what's next?
Next up is Best Aesthetics, and that's you again.
I just didn't want to guess, because then I fuck up again.
Well, thank God you got me here with the printed PowerPoints right in front of me.
You should sign up for admin next year, maybe, when we kick POSIX out. Oh, that's a joke.
Revolution!
So the next category is Best Aesthetics. And in the shared third place we have Fujin by Leon and Ririgu by Steve. It's funny because they're both Japanese. It's not really funny, it's just coincidence. And in second place we have Pacific Ocean Park by Ruby Attacks, which is interesting because it's not necessarily done in a very distinct way. Like the buildings are just buildings and so forth, but he just lit up the park with little details and peeps, and everything is moving, which kind of gives it a unique look. I think it's quite unique that this unique look comes from the details and the tiny moving things, and not the large stuff like the architecture or the foliage. So it's a good second place. But in first place there is, again, Ascension, not Bitmap by InCities. Well,
You got it.
Well-
You got it.
It's a double win, which is unprecedented in this award. So, congratulations,
Never
InCities.
before seen.
I think
Well, at
the
least not in
real
this
winner
edition.
for best aesthetics for 2019, well, maybe 2020 at this point, was that slide. Because
Oh yeah, Comic
Liam, you
Sans
outdid
all the way.
yourself.
Long live Comic Sans.
No, really, Bitmap is hard to beat for just overall appearance, originality, uniqueness, everything. It's a really, really very cool. Like you said, it's a realism-oriented layout, but just to kind of come out with something like this, it's just really very impressive overall.
I think both this and Pacific Ocean Park are kind of the full package in terms of the aesthetics and the theme presentation. Obviously, Roy put a ton of work into the ride design and the supporting materials, the downloads and stuff for Pacific Ocean. I think that Bitmap just really stood above everything because it looks great by itself without any theme context.
well, I have nothing to add. Like, I
No,
think everyone
me neither.
agrees this is the clear winner. Congratulations, Extreme. Funny. So
Right,
what's-
next up is best logo.
Alright, that one is also for me.
Yeah, that
Um,
one is also for you, Liam. That's the last one for you.
So there were a lot of good logos this year. We brought it down to 5 of the best logos. And they're all really good, but only one can be the best. And the winner is Fujin. And the logo has been designed by InCities. So it's the 3rd win in a row for InCities.
Man, he's on a
Congratulations.
roll tonight.
That's crazy.
Shout out to Saxman's friend for Bethlehem Steelworks.
Yes.
Personally, I'm a big fan of the Scarlet Oak Amusement Park by HPG. But I think people kind of wanted to forget about that park and maybe overlook the logo, but it's a really good logo. I think it's,
Yeah, it feels very business-like. It feels very professional, to be honest, but not very much theme park-like, perhaps.
maybe.
All of these are very good. I like all of these. It's just Josh
Oh,
is such an eye for this kind of thing. It's hard to resist that Fujin logo.
Well, one-
Yeah, thanks
one-
again to all of our logo makers, as always, Josh and HPG, especially for coming back out of retirement to help out the logo design team with anybody who asks, really.
One thing I'd like to add about Fujin is that I really appreciate how this logo looks like something you might actually find over the queue entrance in a theme park. Like, of all the logos here, this is the only one I can actually see being used in a theme park. It's that good.
Oh yeah,
Totally agree.
definitely.
Totally agree with that.
Right, I think we can go to the next category.
All right, I think this is where I start.
Yeah, are you ready?
Yeah, that's correct. Go for it.
Go for it. Trial by fire. Okay, so first up, we've got best non-coaster ride. This one, I think, is this one of our new ones this year?
Best non-coaster ride.
No, I don't think so.
I don't
I
remember.
think we've
we
done
we
it
added a
before.
couple, but I think
We
we kind of
definitely had it
retooled.
before at some point.
Yeah, we retooled how we thought about some of these, but first off, number 3 for best non-coaster ride is Jurassic Park River Adventure and Jurassic Park Flying Dinosaur by Mavericks. Really excellent splash boat style ride. Much like the real ride, it's very highly themed, and that just the building itself is really impressive for that ride. Second up, another water ride, Four River Shipyards, Bethlehem Steelworks by Saxman. I like this one a lot because it's boats, so I mean, you know, there you go. And number 1 is a Micro Madness entry, Revolt at Castle Greenwich in the Green Flag by Coco. I think this one is I think I picked this one myself, and it's such an interesting, aesthetically unique ride that fits the theme so very well, and I really appreciate Coco's work in Micro Madness, and I really hope that he can finish up some of the stuff that he's working on, because his style is definitely something special.
Oh, absolutely. Coco has been absolutely on fire in Micro Madness, and this is just one of a winning streak of parks of his.
Absolutely, definitely a micro maven, and especially in the storytelling aspect of it, where he's able to pack so much punch in a small area and really sell a convincing concept.
You can say Coco has been micro mad.
Yes.
Really, no reaction to that? I think I'm on fire with the puns, but apparently you seem to disagree.
77%.
I'm too busy appreciating the low-res Deep Dream painting of the Coco Park on the street.
I'll say one more thing about the ride. I think it's really cool. It's hard to place it in a category because technically it may be river rapids, but it also has coaster parts. And unlike most river rapids, the boats actually are in a train of 3. So it's unique all around.
Got a random vertical drop off the side of the castle and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, it just has everything. It's definitely very special, and I'm not surprised to see it win.
Alright, shall we move on to the next category here?
I think so.
Yeah.
Sounds
Go
good to
ahead.
me. Alright, next up, Best Wooden Coaster. I think 2019 was a pretty strong year for wooden coasters in general. There's some really unique stuff and some really impressive, well-designed rides in general. All of 2019. So first up, number 3, we have a tie. Stampede and Emerald Point by Coaster Bill, and Vortex Twister and Snosberry Plantation by Lucas. 2 completely different rides. Let's just start off with that. One's an RMC. The other is a just ridiculous helix-filled. I don't know. It looks cool. So go with that. And for second here, we've got Yosef Mountaineer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but that's in Jagged Rock Thrill Preserve. Another ride by Lucas here. He's coming out swinging with his wooden coasters. And number 1, I don't think this is particularly surprising, at least it's not to me, but Ghost Rider by G-Wiz. From a recreation standpoint, it's very well done. From a RCT standpoint, it's very well done. It's very hard to argue with this one for me personally, because I love that ride in real life and in Roller Coaster Tycoon. It's a very well done recreation and very well done in general.
I like how fucking massive it is. Like, I'm not sure if you can see the stream right now. I put a screenshot up. It's massive.
Oh,
it's like a wall of wood.
We don't see coasters, at least wooden coasters of this side, built that much anymore, so it's quite refreshing to see one.
Yeah, I can't explain it. Like, it's huge, but it doesn't feel like a hyper coaster or anything. So somehow he did something with the scaling that totally works. That really highlights the size of the thing. It's hard to explain, but I don't know, just interesting scaling, I guess.
Hang on, Liam, did you build on this?
I did, but not the coaster. I didn't touch it.
Can I get Obama awarding Obama in chat, please?
We already have a screen of that with William. I've seen it passing.
I built some grass and some road lines, but that's it. Like, I take no credit for this coaster.
May I be allowed to do a little shout out to Lukev? I mean, he has been nominated twice in this category.
Yeah, for sure. I
And
like seeing someone take awards. That's not like an A-tier park maker. Like, he's always been there, kind of below the radar, and now he just snatches a silver and a bronze medal ahead of some established park makers like Coaster Bill or Stocksy.
Oh, I'm going to admit I voted for Vortex Twisters. I just loved how that thing looked.
I voted for the other Lucas one.
Joseph Mountaineer. Yes,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
choice as well.
Yeah, I'm not pronouncing the name.
I think it was also a great year for the classic style of wooden coasters, like the Boardwalk Woody. We had a couple of Big Dipper style nominees as well. Those were all really cool this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we're ready to move on to the next category.
Yeah, time for the other end of the spectrum, the steel coaster.
That's one of the big awards, traditionally.
Oh yes.
Yeah, this is a big one. And honestly, 2019 was a pretty huge year for steel coasters because we had Emerald Point, we had Southwinds, we had Coors East, we had so many parks and so many designs too. I think the NEDC layout was in this category as well, as it's usually for NEDC, but really some top-notch stuff. So first off, number 3, DC Rivals in Luna Park by Stocksy. Very nice coaster. I like it a lot. It's another one that's inspired by real life design and got some really interesting theming to it as well, for sure. For number 2, very unique ride here, Voodoo by Ostarva. He has such a unique style for building rides that he just comes up with stuff like the shoestrings, the back and forth launches, everything. It's really very unique and very cool. And for number 1, we have Megalodon by G-Force in Southwinds. Really classic aero style mega looper, one that is becoming very rare in real life these days, but a very, very strong contender and well-deserved win because it's phenomenal, really, and it's something that's kind of falling out of favor with parks worldwide, and it's something that's just so big, so imposing, and yet really attractive looking in general.
It's a dirty American classic.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll ever see one done better in Roller Coaster Tycoon, so I think it definitely deserves the nod here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, it's got my vote, which is interesting because usually this would not be up my alley. Like, I like when it's integrated with more theming or with the landscape, but I just can't deny that this thing looks awesome. And I love how fucking massive it is. Again, and like the unique supports, it's just flawless. It's unique, and I know they're tearing down the real world examples, but even if they do, we'll always have it preserved in Megalodon.
It's also got a really cool entrance.
Yeah, definitely. I like this ride a lot. It's everything about it just screams that style of coaster, and really very top notch. Should we move on to the next category?
Oh, definitely.
All right. So, as we know, there was Micro Madness last year. Surprise, surprise. So, next category is going to be Best Micro Park of the Year. And there were so many nominations for this category. So many parks to dig through. Why did you guys have to submit so much cool stuff? Because it makes our life harder. But hey, we got a lot of cool stuff out of it. So,
well, we did have Micro Madness this year. I think it's quite logical we have quite a few micro parks.
Yeah, I see a correlation there, for sure.
It's a little correlation. So first off, number 3 is Green Plague by Coco. I don't think it's any surprise that Coco is going to be showing up here in Best Micro Park of the Year with his amazing submissions. Second is Dynamite Dunes by Coco. So much like Lucas in the wooden coaster category, we got a 3-2 for Coco. And number 1, what you guys voted as the best micro park of last year, the year that we had Micro Madness, is Ascension by Extreme 97. For real this time.
Not Bitmap?
Not Bitmap.
Dang it! No, seriously, congratulations to Extreme for winning this category. Well deserved.
Yeah, definitely. I'm, again, not surprised.
Awesome theming, some great little tricks here and there with the teleporting train. It just, I don't know. There's so much I can say about this park that I'm just gonna let it speak for itself.
Absolutely. Yeah. Micros are just the juiciest little nuggets of Roller Coaster Tycoon content.
Yeah, I loved how everybody, when Micro Madness started, thought this was going to be just a nice, quick, simple, easy contest. But then everybody threw their fucking weight into the scale, and we came up with some amazing stuff. And everybody turned their heads like, "Wait a second, this is not just a small contest. We really are doing our absolute best, and it shows."
Yeah, I think Extreme by himself just raised the bar for everyone in the first round by making Ascension.
Yeah, when this showed up, it was just like, okay, all right, I see what we're doing here.
I thought I had a good micro, but then I was like, I'm middle of the pack at best.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's really Micro Madness in general was just killer this past year. Okay, next up we've got Best Design.
Ooh, that's a big one.
I think we have
Or do we have an intermission before that, or after that? I can't tell.
I've apparently my PowerPoint says we have an intermission now.
Oh, okay.
So everybody, go pee, have a drink, and enjoy the music. Anticipated awards this year, which are Best Design, Best Park, and Park Maker of the Year. Let's go, CC9.
All right, first off, we got Best Design. Again, with NEDC happening last year, there's so many options for this category, and I think we'll see a couple of contributions from NEDC in this category. First off, number 3, Bitmap by Insidies, and we've already seen a lot of this tonight, and it's just deserves all the shout-outs it gets, for sure. It's a hands-down, wonderful, unique design. Number 2, Riddiku by Steve. Once again, we have seen this before in earlier categories, and just phenomenal work from both these guys. But we are here for number 1, and number 1 best design of 2019 was Fujin by Who's Leon, and I think really very well deserved from a layout perspective, from a surroundings perspective, from an atmosphere perspective. There's so much to love about Fujin.
Oh yes, absolutely.
We
I've
said
talked to...
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead,
No,
Liam.
you
I'll
go
let
ahead.
you first.
Ladies first.
Oh, okay, definitely you then.
Alright, I'll embrace my feminine side and I'll go first. I just want to say, we said it before, I think Fujin is the complete package. It has everything, and everything is done so well. The coaster, the architecture, the foliage, so it's no surprise to see it pop up in several different categories. So
I think scores are interesting here as well. It's we saw definitely 80 plus in NEDC, and I was really curious to see where Fujin would place compared to that.
and what are your conclusions?
My
Well, I think-
conclusions are it's really hard to score a design above 80.
I think it's
Yeah.
near impossible, to be honest. Are there any designs over 80?
Plenty.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
One thing that I do want to mention about Fujin for sure is it's one of the better winter scenes we've seen in Roller Coaster Tycoon, I think, at least recently. It's hard to pull off, but we've seen a lot of really interesting stuff, like from Haystack and Fujin, and I think as time goes on, we might I hope to see more people trying to tackle that sort of atmosphere. It's one that I like personally.
Leon nailed the frozen water effect, in my opinion, especially. That's very convincing. He nailed the feeling of a winter that isn't completely... of a cityscape that isn't completely covered in snow, but just has a light dusting of it, along with frost. And that's not easy to pull off.
Yeah, it's been melting. It looks like
Yep,
it's been
I think
melting
with
for a few
the,
days.
Yes, indeed.
With the advent of palette everywhere, I think the Haystack palette in particular is going to make it a lot easier for people to pursue this line of park making.
It's a minor game changer for sure. I think the only other park we've seen with a similar approach to the whole winter loop, maybe a year in Winkelheim from head to head.
Oh, yes.
I think it's the only one that you can compare to Fujin. I think the reason why it didn't score that high, relatively speaking, is like, the only thing you can take away from this maybe is that the coaster is very small. Like it's almost a micro, the part that the actual coaster is covering. So I can, from that perspective, I can see why it didn't score higher. But when you look at the individual components, it's like 90 plus work for sure.
And despite that, it still scored fairly high, if I remember correctly.
I think
Can't
low 80s
exactly
maybe.
the score.
Yeah.
It's just
There
a
was
theory,
also
though.
Fossa Grimmin.
Oh yes, Foster Grimmin. That I do want to. I know it was in some of the results earlier, but that's such an interesting. I like the frozen over village effect in that particular park.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we can move on to the next category.
Yes,
I think so too.
All right, and the next category you got lined up for you guys is best atmosphere. Which park has the nicest feel to it? Which park has hit the mark the closest in terms of hitting the atmosphere it wants to represent? In those, we have on the third place a well-known contestant in this award, Fujin by Who's Leon. On the second place, we have Pacific Ocean Park by Ruyatax RCT. And on the first spot, we have Rigiku by Steve. I think we have seen quite a trend, of contest parks winning these categories, which I find very amusing.
Oh, we had 2 contests.
Yeah, well, 2 massive ones, and apparently they made such a good result that, well, people are reaping the benefits of it. We need more contests on the site. That's my only conclusion.
We're working on it.
Well, good.
But yeah, Micromaze was fucking massive, of course. So, yeah. And the NEDZ was also very successful. I think it's the best one we've had, actually.
Oh, I can say for sure. How many members did we have competing in that? I'm not sure.
I don't
Now,
know.
hang on. Are you saying NEDC 3 was not the best?
Yeah.
I
Middle
take
of the-
personal insult.
Not going to
middle of the
comment on
pack.
that.
Shall we go on?
Yes, I think so. CC9, you're up.
Yeah, okay, so this category is best ride design. So this is more of an overall which parks kind of had the best overall ride design that people like the most. So first off, we have another tie for third. Scarlet Oak Amusement Park by us here at New Element. Lots of people involved with this park. As well as Emerald Point by Coaster Bill. Both rather large parks, although one is absolutely massive.
You could say it's fucking massive.
Oh, yes. I think we've got the makings of a new meme there.
Yeah, probably. Both of these parks full of great rides, just hands down for sure. Number 2, we've got Coors East by Shogo and Friends. Several members popping up to contribute to this park with all the layouts and designs. Shogo, Pack, Schnups, and I believe Scoop. I don't know if I'm missing anyone, but
Shogo?
definitely. I said Shogo. But yeah, so there's just a lot of another example of a park full of excellent roller coasters, excellent supporting rides. Hard to beat, but it did get beat, and that was by number 1, South Winds by GeForce. And I think, once again, just a hugely impressive collection of excellent roller coaster layouts. All of the supporting details of these parks too. All of these parks have amazing roller coasters. That's hands down. But the other thing about all these parks is they have very good supporting rides. Like you can see in the screenshot here, the log flume. So many people overlook these kinds of rides in these parks, I think. And it's just all the rides in these parks are very, very impressive.
Oh yeah, very much. I mean, not only the log flume. Look at that little carpet right there in the upper right corner. Some people would just plonk it down with a row of trees behind it as decoration, but no, G actually made a background for it as well. So he pays attention to these kind of things, which thinks why it deserves this award.
I enjoy that all of the layouts for the coasters in particular aren't straight recreations, but they're very clearly identifiable as like, oh, that's, you know, that's a Top Gun, that is a flight deck or whatever.
Definitely, yeah.
So the originality to pull off unique layouts while still being so obviously inspired by the source material that you can recognize it is a really cool twist.
All right.
I'm just taking in the screen. It's great.
He's absorbing it through osmosis.
If you
not
want
even
the
that much
park,
gray.
ladies and gentlemen, you can download it at newedesigns.com.
New Element, newenydesigns.com. Got it.
It's a new website. It's
Dot
pretty cool.
geocities dot geocities dot whatever the hell.
Tripod.
.co.ca.
All right, next up, I think we've got Liam with a couple more awards here.
We're getting to the really big awards now. Park Maker of the Year is coming up, but not before we do non-Park Maker of the Year. So, who are just bubbling below the Park Maker tier? Who are the best non-park makers? I don't know where I was going with this. Anyway, in third place we have Otter Salad, who's been around for quite a long time, but recently he's taking some big steps again. He released several parks. He's making an impression, so he's moving up. So no surprise, he came in third in this category. Who knows where he may be next year. In second place we have Saxman. And in first place, it's Yappy. Oh my god.
Can we get some 77s in chat?
Oh, come on.
You don't know how long
You had
I'm
to
waiting to
say
say
that.
that.
I'm keeping my
I'm
eyes
going
on the
to
chat right now. There we go. 2, 3,
I'm going
There it
to
is.
ref-
There
4,
it is.
5.
I'm going to refrain from commenting and just say, thank you, Mom.
Yeah, just go on.
Thank you everyone who voted for me. I mean, I've been nominated a few times, but always lost other people. But yeah, it's great to finally win.
Yeah, go on.
What do you mean, go on? I don't have anything else to add.
All right. Well, we still have to
Does
look
it
at the
feel
screen
as
for a
good as
minute, so just talk over it while we.
Admire Bumbly Beach.
I look forward to your 78% park next year.
Oh god, just opening the Discord chat right now. Oh, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I think in maybe if you score 78 this year, in 3 years you may be in the other category, the Park Maker of the Year.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Fingers crossed.
Can you just move on?
So for our other medalists here, I would say Saxman has probably achieved everything he hoped to achieve with the game, with his Bethlehem Park. I hope he sticks around and continues to build, but Otter Salad definitely another prospect that I'm excited to see more work from, especially after the NEDC entry.
Oh, even after his recently released park, I can confirm Otter is building on something new already, and it's going to be fantastic.
Well, I can't wait to see it. I think the Steelworks, it was a really good park, but you also have to consider he started it years ago, so there's a lag between what he can do and what's on display in Steelworks. So I'm sure that whatever he's working on, it's going to be much, much better.
Well, I don't
I've
know
heard
how
some
many
of
more
the,
parks there are in Pennsylvania.
I've heard some of the ideas that he has, and I'm really hoping that he goes through with some of what he shared. Don't want to spoil anything, but if he goes through with it, it could be amazing.
Oh, I hope he certainly realizes them then, because Sax is such a great and happy member of the community. It would be a shame to lose him.
Alright, shall we go on?
Oh yes, certainly.
I think it may be time for the big one.
Oof.
Park Maker of the Year. And this year it's especially interesting because there was not one spotlight that was ahead of the rest like we had for so many years. Often was one of the most predictable categories. This year I have no clue. I had no clue, and yeah, it could go in any direction. And I'm surprised by the result because I just didn't know. So let's take a look. We have a shared third place, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, there we go. It's Stocksy and Coaster Bill. They both won a spotlight, and they still couldn't break the top 2. So that speaks volumes about how much quality there was this year. Stocksy, of course, got nominated for his Luna Park, although I think he also participated in Micro Madness.
Yep, definitely he did.
And
He did.
of course, Coaster Bill mostly got in here because of his object making efforts. He also released a little park on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you mean fucking massive park.
yeah, you could say it's fucking massive. In second place, it's Roy. Thanks to Pacific Ocean Park. His big breakthrough, I guess, because he's been making parks before, and it kind of flew under the radar. Although Club Roy also got quite some recognition, but Pacific Ocean Park just went beyond. I think it cracked 90%, which is crazy, out of left field. So yeah, no surprise to see him pop up in the top 3 here.
I think why Rear Attacks flew under the radar for so long is because he's mostly been active on YouTube showcasing his parks.
He's a bit of an outsider in a way.
Yeah, indeed. He uploads his park to new elements, but he mostly showcases them on the side, which is YouTube in this case.
Hashtag subscribe.
Subscribe, like, comment.
Hashtag not sponsored.
Yeah, tons of respect for him putting out the multimedia content that we all say we're going to, with podcasts and videos and everything like that. So I really appreciate that someone is out there representing the community doing that.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
certainly.
All right, so I think we should take a look at who won. I'm looking at the chat. It's going all over the place.
Well, who do I see here passing? I see Shogo. I see nominations for Steve. Fujin is in the maker, guys. So
It's not Steve.
oh, I'm seeing other names popping up as well now.
It's
Liam,
Coco.
care to- Yeah, there you go.
It's Coco. So it's not GeForce, it's not Shogo, it's not Steve, it's not Fujin, it's Coco. And it totally surprised me because Coco, he only did the micros, right? There were 5 spotlights. Who takes the Park Maker of the Year? It's the guy who won Micro Madness. I think that's really cool, and I love to be surprised. So congratulations, Coco. I do agree. You maybe put on the best RCT of the year in Micro Madness. Not the biggest, but definitely the best. And
Yes.
Also, it's easy to forget he did contribute an area in Land of Shadows.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that Coco can put out some more of his solo work. I've been looking through some of his unfinished parks, and he's allowing me to do some work on one of his old parks actually that I hope to be able to get to sometime in these next few weeks. But I really want to see more of his work. It's really great stuff, and obviously the community chose him best park maker, and I really want to see more of it.
Yeah, I don't really have that much to add. And Coco has been so active this year with such amazing little parks, such creative ideas, such good execution of those ideas. Well deserved to win.
I think it's funny how we've seen quite a few people finally come up with some full parks in recent years. Like people that have been around for a long time but never released parks. Like Nin, for example, he has 2 parks under his belt by now, full-scale parks. And one of
Do
the
zoos count?
Who?
Do zoos count?
Yes, they do, because I made the best one in a whole new element.
But I think
And I'm just saying that because Nin can't speak back to me right now.
I think Coco is one of the few who is still in the category of really talented but has never produced a full park. And this makes me even more anxious, like, as in, not anxious, but excited, like, just do it already.
You heard the man, just do it.
Yeah, just do it.
Do it.
I think we can use the new element term, just fucking build.
Just build fucking massive things.
Yes. Just do it.
Alright. So who's next?
Next up is the Most Promising Member Award.
Take it away.
And traditionally, we kind of have non-Park Maker of the Year, for which I think the winner is supposed to get Park Maker. Isn't that right, Jappy?
That was in 2008.
I think that's how it works. I think Jappy's a Park Maker now.
You're about 12 years too late.
I don't know, Jappy. I think maybe you should be lobbying for a nice green name.
I think I'm going to let Everland Discovery Kingdom do that for me.
Ah, all right. We'll look forward to it. But there's also Most Promising New Member or Most Promising Member. And this year, many of the nominees have come to us from other servers, other OpenRCT2 players who have brought their really exciting new content to New Element. And so, in third place, we have the inventor of everyone's favorite inversion. That's right, it's Fred. No, it's Skiffa. It's the Skiffa Loop and Skiffa himself. In second place, it's Hoobaroo.
I think the music stopped. Hold on. There we go. Yeah.
And taking the gold for Most Promising Member, it's Barnid. This is fantastic news for me. I'm really excited to see all of these new members contributing content. I'd love to talk between Most Promising Member and Park of the Year about some of the parks that these people have contributed that have been real favorites for me throughout the year.
Oh yes, definitely. All of these members deserved actually to win, in my opinion. I mean, Hoobaroo has been just popping up with Micro Madness, but the stuff he made was incredible already. Skiffa, even though he's mostly active on Dirklink server, if he can make something, if he can break free from the chains from the Dirklink multiplayer server plot and build a full-scale park, I think he could actually easily become a park maker.
Yeah.
And Barnett, well, he's just amazing as well from the spot. From the moment he was here, he posted some great stuff.
Absolutely. I think if the authoritative dictator over there will release some more of their content to us, I would be very grateful.
No, I'm grateful for the Dirklink servers. I mean, they have some fantastic members over there, and well, they can. I think there's a bit of a cohabitation between them.
I think it's kind of cool to have a little bit of rivalry between communities.
Oh yeah,
because we miss
definitely.
that. We've been missing that for a long time.
Absolutely, and especially the willingness of people who come from Dirklink to just submit the best that they can to the contests that New Element runs really make our contests more popular, more exciting, provide more content for everyone.
Agreed.
Oh yes.
Just gotta get some full-scale parks out of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of, next is Best Park of the Year, but before we run into that, I wanted to give a couple shout-outs to parks from promising members, if that's okay with you guys.
Oh, definitely. Go ahead.
So, Carla Canyon came out this year from Otter Salad. Mama Ria's had a couple of really excellent NEDC and Micro Madness entries, as well as, I believe it was Flamenco. Yeah, that's it. With a really cool, like neon-colored layout. I especially enjoyed stuff that V1 presented as well. I still think V1's a promising member.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I've seen work in progress shots from his current project, and I think he definitely has a shot to get a nice golden acolyte.
It was great to see a couple full-scale things come out from him, at least in the past year or so.
All right, can we move on to Park of the Year?
Okay, Park of the Year. This is a big one. This is what the community has decided is the best park of 2019. And we've got another tie for third here. So, in third, we have South Winds by GeForce and Luna Park. I'm not going to try to pronounce that Australian town name by Stocksky.
It's Adelaide.
Adelaide.
It's in
okay, thank you.
Austria.
I believe it's Allied.
Alright. Throw a good day, mate. In there anyway. Anyway, so number 2, Coors East by Shogo. Another park that we've seen much of in these awards this year. Very, very strong release. And here we are. Number 1. Best park of 2019 is Pacific Ocean Park by Riotax. Kind of
Very interesting.
really
Yeah.
interesting win for me. It's a great park, and I know that a lot of people are talking about how there's not a lot of quote-unquote park context for this park, but I do think that that kind of style has a definite place in the community, and I like it a lot. I like that park style. There's just so much work that went into this park, and so much attention to detail, especially in the context of the video game world he was recreating. Lots of nice little details, lots of nice features, and then, cute little boardwalk park on top of all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think you can feel the love. It's not something we've seen since maybe Mario Kart, where this is a reference to another world, and it's done so well that you can't help but get sucked in.
Oh, definitely. I think this is, however, going to be a controversial winner for, you can say, quote unquote, the lack of actual park content. But to be honest, I'm not really sure if that's much of an issue in here. I mean, the rest of the world sucks you in so much, like you said, that there wasn't really a need for a theme park setting, even though he provided one with the boardwalk.
Yeah, Extreme just mentioned something in chat that best park may as well be best map, and I'm inclined to agree with that personally. I think that we call all of our submissions parks, even though some of them are, not traditional. Parks.
Yeah, that is correct.
Especially the best realism category is now, roughly 30% non-park content, even for park.
Yeah.
At least the park here was still kind of at the center of the map. Like, it's still the centerpiece.
Oh,
For sure,
yes.
yeah.
So
I think it's a classic.
I think it counts. I think it's cool that in all the categories we did awards with the different disciplines of park making, foliage, architecture, ride design, Pacific Ocean Park was kind of invisible. Sometimes it didn't even get nominated. But then the sum of its parts is just enough to trump all the other parks in this category, the ultimate category. So that's quite it's curious. There's a lot of curious awards this year, but I think it's cool. It's very refreshing, as is the park
definitely.
itself.
Well, talking about awards, there is one last one we need to address. Also quite a big one. Shall
Not
we
to be
move on to that one?
underestimated. Yeah.
Oh no, definitely not. And that is, of course, Member of the Year. Who has been the most, well, not necessarily the active, but the nicest, the kindest, or perhaps the most active? Well, there we have a few nominations for them, but I think we might know the winner already. In third place, we have In Cities. On the second place, we have Dr. Dirt.
Shout out to
And on
to Land and his Empire Conquest project.
Oh, definitely.
Among us,
definitely.
among other things, like helping out with Micro Madness, we did the draft reveal together. He's been contributing to the community in a lot of different ways all year. So, Dr. Dirt, I love you.
Yeah, me too. I'm keeping my eyes on the chat right now to see if there are any guesses who might know. One B. I'm seeing mostly congratulations for Josh. Well,
Got some scoop predictions. Got some
Some
McMahon
great
predictions.
ones? No, but I see quite a lot of
Yappy
them have guessed it. No, I've seen most of them have found it already. Number one is of course our Brazilian member, Mr. Tycoon Coaster. It's a fantastic win, of course, for a member who perhaps we can agree on isn't perhaps the greatest in RCT, but is the most kind-hearted, friendly person we've seen in a long time on the site, who sadly has been going through quite a lot of trouble recently. But he has been such a nice voice to everyone, even with his own problems, always offering big hugs to everyone, always smiling, always cheering on for everyone, even though life has been so tough on him recently. I think he deserves this award more than anyone else.
Yeah, it's easy to underestimate his contribution to this year, because he's been spreading positivity and it's been affecting all of us, I think. So
Yes, definitely.
it's just heartwarming to have him around. And I really appreciate that he shares his personal issues with us. Like, that alone is doing so much for the atmosphere on the site.
Not only that he shares it, but I've seen quite a lot of members of New Elements showing him his support, not even just on the side, but supporting his projects on the outside as well.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can only cheer on. I mean, the man really hasn't got it easy. His wife has been declared cancer, I believe.
I think she's doing better lately.
Yeah, she's doing better lately, but yeah,
Still cancer.
yeah, indeed.
Now there's the
So-
Corona thing. I don't think it's Corona's being nice to Brazil right now in his situation. So there's definitely a lot of bad stuff for him, but he brings the site together.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely.
So-
One of all the awards this evening, I think this one is the most deserved.
Yeah, I totally voted for him and I totally support him winning, and it's
Well,
a very wholesome moment to end the ceremony with, I think.
yeah, do any of you have something to add? Because otherwise I might give it to the admins. I have sadly not been informed if there are going to be any big announcements this year, so that's up to you guys.
Well,
Head-to-head 9. Here we go.
Oh boy.
No. You're joking, right?
Yeah, I changed my mind. We're not ready. We're not ready.
Yeah, we
I'm
only
definitely
just
not ready.
recovered last week, I think, from the last one. With the
there is a contest going on, which everyone should join because it's really easy.
So
Anyway,
what happens now?
yeah, are there any big announcements? You
what happens now?
I don't know. I thought you were
Oh,
doing
Lee
this.
McKilling.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
I'm the presenter, but you guys didn't.
Yeah, you have no idea, do you, Yappy?
No, I do
You
not.
just have no idea what's coming next.
I'll take a guess.
No.
Yeah,
Um,
you've been asking
I'm
everyone
thinking-
to guess. Why don't you guess this time?
Well, okay, I'm going to do a guess. We have 3 amazing parks in the lineup right now. We have Josh's SeaWorld, we have Alex's Ancient Worlds, and we have, well, okay, I say amazing, Everland Discovery Kingdom in line. I think we might see a release of those 3.
There might be something being released. Well, I, for one, would like to invite everyone to check out the new parks tab because we do, in fact, have a brand new release today to give everyone.
Well, let's find out.
Well, I'm looking forward to this one.
Cue Liam. Flip that slide.
Cue the award music.
There it is.
Whoa.
It's Desperado.
Nice.
Wait, hold on. This is not Brian SeaWorld. I don't think he's quite done with that one yet, but Josh has in fact finished SeaWorld Barcelona, and he has kindly allowed us to have that as our big announcement for the end of this awards session.
That's great. That's super exciting.
That's fantastic.
What's also exciting is that apparently we broke the site.
Yep. Everyone was so excited that they broke the site.
What? No way.
Well, okay, guys, that's the end of the New Element. Thank you for the ride. It's been a great 18 years. We'll see you on Reddit.
See you on our new site, newelementdesigns.co.ca.
.geocities. .yahoo. All right, I think we are ready to say goodbye to everyone. I hope you guys edition the New Element Awards for the year 2019, and let's keep on building fucking massive woodies.
Fully agreed.
Absolutely.
100%.
77 or bust.
Oh, for crying out loud.
Well, thank you everyone for your presence.
Anytime.
Oh, we're
Yeah,
so shit.
anytime.
I love it. I hereby conclude the ceremony.
Yes, fine. We're still alive.
I think so.
Oh,
Hey, the site's working! Yay!
We can. I'll leave it on for a bit. Like, why not?
All right.
Banter.
I'm just recording.
So, should everyone look for Twitch VOD links on the forums, perhaps?
Yeah, I think so. Probably post those there.
Here's an idea.
Relive all this excitement.
What if we quit this voice chat and I'll join the NE voice chat?
Yeah, let's join the
Let's
one
see
on
what the
Discord.
fuck
I'm
is
really
going on
surprised
there.
with Hell's Gate. Yeah, so many people in there. I'm looking forward to that one.
All right, thanks, gentlemen. It's been a nice failure. Thank you.
It's been an honor.
Thanks all.
Yep. See ya.
See you around.
See you soon.
Download this park, maybe.
Boom, baby. Well, that was fun.
This is it. Total
Yeah, there's
silence.
For crying out loud, we just did the best to present you the best show we ever done, but nope. Everyone's just sitting here in silence.
So which contest is happening now?
There is one going on.
Yes, the one that's going on right now, indeed.
NEFC.
It's the New Element Football Conference.
Yeah.
American football or soccer?
Whichever
Yes.
one Faust plays. I believe he's a catcher, is that right? And pitcher?
I don't know.
In football? Hey, let's look at this fucking part. It's not Brian's.
Maybe I should check out some other voice chats. Maybe I'll go to Durkling server or something.
Yeah,
I just wonder where
No.
the people are.
there aren't any people in VC.
There's a
there
lot
now.
busier at the beginning.
We're all looking at SeaWorld.
Well, yeah, just give us your
We're-
comments down.
We're waiting for the next announcement.
Well, you can wait until next year.
Just go to bed and maybe tomorrow.
Right.
I see.
What the fuck is going on with this park?